5.
Is ready?
Yeah, she said yeah. 5,
Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Smurf! Okay, so timing starts on character select, as you just saw, and then we're gonna go to the shop here, the bait shop, and buy a few items. You start out with $100 in your budget, and you get money from winning tournaments later, so you'll get better equipment and get better fish. I'm just gonna explain like the main things, then I'll probably just go on and ramble on about some stories and stuff, because it's a pretty straightforward game. All you do is you catch a certain amount of fish to win the tournament. There's a certain threshold of pounds that you want to catch, and you can easily tell like if a fish is going to be big or not, because in the water you'll see different sizes. There's like a really big fish that's super rare. That if somebody finds that, and there's also a monster bass in the third lake, but I don't think anybody's going to go for that in a marathon. But Miss Honor knows those strats. So yeah, I think Miss Honor definitely has a different strat than me. She gets the grubs. I don't get those, and I get the 2 worms, and it's gonna be an RNG fest as far as once we get out of this shop and start fishing. I have to click the line here. Hold on. So yeah, that's that. So this is a really chill side speed game, and like, so like if you're having a rough time in your main speed game, this is a great game just to chill out to, and so it is definitely the best fishing game that's out there. There's no better fishing game. There's a lot of crappy ones for N64, and the Genesis port is really bad. And yeah. We got the RPGodfather. Joe D'Amelio cannot be here, unfortunately. He got the world record in his short time of playing this, and it was his idea to race this for the marathon. So unfortunately, we do not have Joe D'Amelio with us. I'm on the come up here because I got a big fish on the line. So I know Miss Honor and Tinnue are sweating her.
Question from the chat: is there any point to buying a fish finder?
No. Well, so the fish finder. I mean, I don't use, but some people claim to know how it works. It makes a beeping sound when you hover over a fish, and then you're supposed to revert. You're supposed to go back, and then you're supposed to fish in that spot. But I mean, I don't know if it's a big fish or a small fish just by the fish finder, so I don't really go by that. I just kind of throw it in and go for it. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to cover the rolling eternally deep philosophy, though. That's one of the things I think I wanted to cover here. And the Rollin eternally deep philosophy. It stems in, when you create a highlight, when you make these videos and put them on the internet, it goes to a satellite, right? And so the satellite, that's our main hope, to preserve the Rollin deep tapes. I know Rafine knows all about this, so because at some point the sun is gonna have a nuclear explode. It's gonna explode, and everybody's just gonna die, but the Rollin deep tapes can be safe on the satellite, so it's very important, very crucial that the Rollin deep tapes are safe.
And what better game to discuss this during than Bassmasters Classic?
Right. Later on in the marathon, we're gonna have EVO Search for Eden, and EVO Search for Eden, interestingly, on the Japanese port, is actually the name for that is actually 46 billion year story, which means it covers 46 billion years over Fiend. So that means you know, the planet's been around for, from what we've documented, at least 46 billion years, which is very interesting. That probably was why it's my favorite game, because it covers such a large you know.
Like one video game for the Super Nintendo even covering that much content.
There's absolutely no video game.
It's like no wonder
out
it's
there
worth so much.
Yeah, I mean it covers 46 billion years. Okay, of a timeline, and it goes back on how far we've documented. And yeah, I mean in that game you actually have aliens that are speaking to you at the end. At the end of the game, it shows you that aliens have been whispering to you. So I mean that just shows that, you know, they've been spying on us from Mars. You know, quite a weird. You know, if you look at a telescope and you look at Mars, you know, there's parts of Mars that have like building. You know, like they have structures that look like people were there. You know, with like like looking at us and watching our progress as we go along. And that's actually shown in EVO Search Read, and that theory is presented. I mean, I know Darkwing Duck knows all about that too. So we're trying to catch big fish. In this first tournament here, the threshold is going to be about 57 pounds, 56, 57. So like you can do a combination of small and big fish. If I can't find any big fish, like I catch small fish in this first one, but towards the end I have to get a bunch of big fish. But yeah, man, the sun's gonna explode. And basically, during that time, you know, we have technology of spaceships to take us in, or not space, but rockets that can take us out. So they're gonna have a bunch of you know, rich people that are gonna want to buy rockets during that time. But you know, there's really no set like that. I don't know if we can forecast the sun's explosions, so I don't know, you know, how we're gonna deal with that. But you know, when it comes about, basically all the population is just going to be, you know, taken out. But there's going to be a satellite that's going to be, you know, drifting, you know, along the space, and it's going to have all the
Okay, wait, how do you know
what
that people haven't navigated to other galaxies where there's different,
you know,
different solar systems?
We have had
just assume they're going to
we
get
have had
wiped
a
out?
we have had a breakthrough actually recently over Fiend, a huge breakthrough. We're going to have an upgraded yeah, there's going to be a better telescope that's going to be coming out soon, and we're going to be able to see in much greater detail what's out there, and it's going to give us quite the horizon of ideas.
Something tells me you don't need a bigger horizon of ideas.
Well, so I mean, the thing is, we can send the satellite off, and we can send it to a safe distance to, you know, avoid the explosion. But I mean, past that, I mean, it could be, you know, heading straight towards a parallel, like, rift, you know, in outer space, you know, and I mean, at that point, I mean, it could just go into this, you know, abyss, and it could just be taken into this black hole. You know, it could just be sucked into a black hole, and then all civilization is lost. And plus, I mean, the satellite, it needs to make it to intelligent life forms over Fiend. I mean, what are monkeys gonna do with the Rollin deep tapes over Fiend? Can you explain? You
think the tapes are going to land somewhere on Earth where there's just monkeys?
No, I mean, we don't know where they're going to be sent. We know that we're going to be sending it to safety because we know the importance of the Rollin deep tapes, you know, and that's why we're building telescopes and all that, to see, you know, where we're going to send these things. But you know, I mean, when
you think people built telescopes with the purpose of seeing these tapes?
100%, yes, so that we can preserve the Rollin deep tape. That's what it's all about, you know. And so,
all right,
when they're shipped out, I mean, we need to send it on a course that's going to make. So I mean, you know, one of the big things is that we're trying to find, you know, life forms, you know, that are out there, and we know that there's life forms out there because we see how many stars there are, and we know that, you know, people are, you know, moving and grooving along the galaxy, and you know, other than us. But the thing is, we need to find.
How do you know that?
It's documented in Evo search in 46 billion year story. I mean, we're gonna see that tonight.
Evo documented that there's other people
Yes.
out there in the universe.
Yes, it documents it. It has it out there. Yeah, with how many stars there are out there, with how many which are suns. So we have all these other suns out there, and all these other planets circling those sun, orbiting around those stars. There's other life forms out there. The question, the main key, the key component here is you got to find intelligent life form that can utilize the satellite that we're going to be sending their way to you know, recover and preserve the Rollin deep tapes. You know, that's what it all comes down to, Overfiend. That's what the you know, master plan.
Are you an intelligent life form?
Right. I mean, that's why I've you know, created these Rollin deep tapes for you know, use in the 46 billion year you know, plan. I mean, 46 billion years in the future, it's still going to be preserved. You know, it's going to be sent to another galaxy, and you know, people are just going to be thriving off of all the intelligent information that we've stored on the satellite. I mean, and they're going to be just looking over my Rollin Deep strats and Bomberman generation, and looking over my Rollin Deep Super Bomberman tapes, and they're just gonna flip their wigs. You know, they're just gonna flip their wigs when they see that.
You think they'll have wigs?
I mean, we're not the only one with wigs, Overfiend. I mean, they've got some intergalactic shit out there that...
How would you know that?
I know, it's been documented in the 46 billion year story. We're going to see that tonight with Darkwing Duck's going to be presenting that one. Oh boy.
Oh, that's right, that's tonight. Alright.
So shoutouts to my boy Old World Gamer. He's an upcoming
Bomberman. He seems to agree with you.
Yeah, he's an upcoming Bomberman speedrunner who it just gives no fucks and is going to take names and bop scrubs like our boy that was just on here, the Scrub Buster. He's gonna let you know what that's about. He's been bopping scrubs on the leaderboard. So I'm getting terrible luck right now, but it's all good. It's all part of the plan.
Well, hopefully you'll still come under estimate.
That's a long shot. I mean, 420 would have been.
Well, that is gonna take a long time.
Penguin Saber's rolling out. Sorry that this Bassmasters Classic Legendary gameplay just doesn't cut it for you, man. So I'm getting nothing but like smaller fish, and that's not good, but it's all good because I got my energy drink, and I'm gonna get pumped up here, and we're gonna be on the come up.
What energy drink?
We're wired up here this morning, Overfiend. We got the passion fruit rolling.
Wait, but it's called Wired?
Yeah, it's called Wired. It's an off-brand cheap energy drink that's actually really good.
Okay.
It gets me buzzing, you know. Gets me
I feel like there's so many energy drink brands that it's hard to know what's off-brand, but
well, when you see that Monster Energy drinks go for like 160, and then you see these things go for like 80 cents, then you'll know it's off-brand. That's when you know.
Okay.
When they're
that's pretty freaking cheap for an energy drink.
I know that's because they're off-brand.
Okay.
That's how you know. Yeah,
okay, so yeah, if you don't hear me for a while, it's either I'm taking a shower or I'm trying to nap. So.
Alright, I'll just conclude that you are advancing our technologies to preserve the Rollin deep tapes. Yeah.
Yeah, more or less.
I'll just assume that. Okay, we got a big one. We're in there. We're beyond the come up.
Whoa, is it the 57-pounder?
So you can see, like, you can visually see when it's a bigger fish, and they have their ranges. So the smaller ones range from 2 to 4 pounds. Small ones have 2 to 4 pounds. The medium size are about 5 to 9, and then the large are like 10 to 20 or above. But yeah, Haunter doesn't have a mic. Tinnue was gonna possibly mic, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think she has people where she's at and doesn't want to bother.
People watching the race with her.
Cheering her on to just whoop my ass in this game.
Oh.
So, like, the X button zooms out the camera, so so we're, like, wiggling around and trying to look all around to see if we can get the big fish. Which I just got one. Well, Overfiend's gonna be taking a nap, so it's pretty much just... That's why I said it's story time with RPG, because, I mean, we're playing a fishing game, and, we're catching the big fish, you know. We're riding the big waves. So, I mean, I'm open to any kind of discussion. Now, I was talking about the Rollin eternally deep philosophy, which, you know, I mean, I'm gonna roll as deep as I can in this lifetime, but I mean, after that, you know, you got the Rollin deep tapes that are gonna last forever because they're gonna be shipped out on that satellite towards intergalactical, you know.
So, how deep do you think you've rolled
today?
Rolled so far? Like, are you content with your progress so far?
I mean, I've rolled deep since I came out the vagina, man. So
you rolled out of it.
I haven't stopped rolling deep since then. So it's pretty deep, man.
Okay.
You know, I just like I roll deep in when I'm snoring. I'm rolling deep then. I'm rolling deep.
How do you roll deep?
Well, I roll one deep in the bed, you know, when I snore, and that's pretty deep.
That means it's just you in the bed.
Right, and I'm rolling deep in that bed.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You got any more questions or any more fancy questions?
No, I was just curious what you thought about your progress so far when your goal is to roll as deep as possible.
Well, I have 600 videos, you know, on my, you know, Twitch. I have 600 plus Twitch VODs. I got how many YouTube videos? Over like 700. I mean, these are all being stored on the satellite as we speak, and it's just growing, you know, on a daily basis. We're adding to that number, and then all these Rollin deep tapes are going to be reviewed by even more intelligent life forms that are going to utilize that information, and they're going to roll. It's just going to like I'm going to roll deep, you know, impersonally through them, even when I'm not. Like, I'm just going to roll deep, just, you know, like the spirit bomb. It's like Goku, you know, when he gathers energy and all that. Like he's just gathering all the Rollin deep energy that he can get, and it's just like there's a little piece of that Rollin deep energy that's just gonna spark off, and it's just gonna roll deep, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Well, I am a decent Dragon Ball fan.
That's what I'm saying. When Goku's like, when he's putting his hands up and he's like, all right, let me gather all this energy. You know, the ball was like really small, and then when he found that Rollin deep energy, it just like sparked up, and then it just like became this big ball of energy, just this big Rollin deep, you know, all this Rollin deep energy, it all just came together, and then it just like, bam, he just fucked up Frieza and fucked up, you know, Vegeta, and then you got a little piece of Boo on that one, and then he just like, boom, and then...
Yeah, he did blow up Boo with that.
You know, and Boo was like this, you know, creature that could recover, and then the spirit bomb just imploded and just destroyed. Yeah, so when there's multiple fish on screen, you got a big one, you got like two little ones. You push up on the D-pad to grab hold of a fish, and if you push it at the wrong time when the small one's biting, you'll catch it. And plus, sometimes when the small ones bite, they'll just get it without you pushing up on the D. Like, they're just like pesky, so you want to avoid them and try to get the bigger fish. But it's not so much of a big deal on the first couple lakes, because the pound threshold is pretty low, and you can actually catch like maybe 1 or 2 big fish and then a bunch of small fish on a day out there, and then you can still win. So it's like recoverable. You like, I mean, I try to get the big ones because if you catch small, you got to catch like 3 small ones to 1 big one, to sort of make up for it. So I try to get the big ones, but it's not so much a big deal. I'm actually about to end day 1 here, but that's still pretty trashy pace. So the thing is, like, the reel that we have is not that good. When we upgrade the reel, it reels them in much, because when you're throwing out like 80 feet or 70 feet, or 90 feet or whatever, and then you got to reel it in all the way, it's really, really bad with this reel. When you get the better reel, it goes much faster. Yeah, if you push on up on the D-pad, you can hook them. X zooms out the camera, which is really nice. If you push A and Y at the same time, you can insta-reel in if you can't find anything. Like if you're like 30 feet out and you can't find anything, you're like, oh, screw this, I'll recast. You can just push A and Y, pull in. So I'm gonna finish up day 1. I've got 30 pounds. I need about 27 more. So I like to do the first tournament in 2 days and skip the 3rd day all together. Later you get a faster motor, which really helps because we're slow rolling, you know, motorboating out here. So I'm gonna weigh in. It seems like the first lake is kind of difficult because it seems like the bigger sized fish are a lot more rare, like hard to come by. Where they're like super common on the last lake. It's just you need to have like 7-8 pound fish. Yeah, so when I tried the Pro edition, like you need to have, I think, like 130 some, like 135, 140 pounds on the last lake, and that one you actually need to have a super big, like you need to have like a 20+ pound fish at least, like, and then a couple, maybe even 2 of them to win. So you're like out there trying to find that fish, and it's pretty daunting. It's pretty nobody's completed a pro run, which there's 2 different, there's amateur and there's pro, and like amateur is doable, but pro, the problem is on that last lake, the pound threshold is so high to win, and you have to get first place in the last one, or you don't win the game, and it's like everyone just has like 120, 130 pounds by the end of the, like here we only need 57 by 3 days, but you need 130 by the 3 days in the last lake. But the medium-sized fish are like super common on the last lake, but you need a super big one, and they seem to be really rare. Yeah, this is the most let's see here. This speed run is I mean, only real, you know, hardcore speedrunners speedrun a fishing game. I mean, you could, so I mean, there's a category where you don't have to get first place on all the lakes, and you can just, but you need to get top 3 or else it won't advance you. And you could try to go for it, but it's very, like, it's super common. They'll have like 55 or 56 at their end pounds, and so there's, I mean, for people that kind of joined in maybe and don't know, there's 5 tournaments in this. In each tournament, there's 3 days that you have to fish, and each, I mean, has in-game time that starts at 7 a.m. and ends at 3. Like you have to be at the dock by 3, or else you get docked points, and then if you can't make it to the dock, you just get disqualified. So you have to be there. Yeah, I mean everything's RNG in this game, but there is supposedly a fish finder that makes a noise when there's a big or a fish in general, and you're supposed to like be able to utilize that. But I haven't like fully figured out how that all works because it like seems to beep whenever, and then there'll be like pikes and trouts and small fish. When pikes, if you catch a pike or a trout, it doesn't count. You can only catch bass in this game, so that's one thing. And people have their debates on like what bait there's top water baits that don't come to the bottom of the water. I don't like those ones. And then there's like they make a lot of noise and they'll cause the fish to come up to the top of the surface. But the deep water base, because we roll deep, so we want to go to the deep water. No, the max, so you can get a 9-pounder in the first lake. You can get a high 8 or a high 9. It's really uncommon and really rare, and it really just depends. Because if you beat the lake, if you beat the lake high score or something, you get extra money on top of that. Like it'll tell you beat the record for this lake, which was 8 pounds and 6 ounces or something, and it'll give you an extra, I think, $250 that you can spend. You do definitely want to get a better engine than the one they get if you're gonna go out in the water. But if you like just fish right next to the dock or something, and sometimes it works out where you can just not even really leave the dock and you can get a bunch of big fish. I mean, it's definitely the best. Like, if you look at the N64 fishing games, they are completely awful. They are terrible. Yeah, shouts to Blood TV, rolling in. Whoa, man. I don't know, man. I get a discount for my ounces, so I can almost buy 2 ounces with that. Whoa. In Colorado, we get to make my runs. Yeah, it's something like that. I mean, the goal. I mean, the goal is. I mean, you can visually see, like this one that I just got on my screen. You can visually see that this is going to be something between 5 and 9 pounds. So go with that. I mean, I'm running and commentating at the same time, and unfortunately we don't have, Miss Honor and Tinnue commentating, and then our host Overfiend is gonna take a nap on this one, and I don't blame him. This is a longer run, and he is not used to being up this early. Yeah, I'd also like to see if people have if anybody wants to, make any predictions on who's going to win this race. We all have pretty similar PBs, I think within 10 minutes of each other. I would say Tinnue. I'm almost going to say Tinnue's going to win this one. I don't have much faith in myself because I'm babbling on. But I mean, I was actually the one who introduced this game to everyone, and they picked it up. It's a pretty chill, race game and speed game. But at the same time, it gets really frustrating when if you're doing like RTAs of this, and like right now, like I'm not having the best Pebble Lake here. You got to reset that, and then like if you get a really good first lake, and then you get the next lake, and it all just goes downhill. Yeah, it's depending on what you visually see the fish to be, it has a range of what it's going to be. So, like I said, the small fish are 2 to 4 pounds, the medium ones are 5 to 9, and the large ones are 10 plus. Yeah, I think Super Black Bass was also a good game from what I've heard. Yeah, it was a 5-pounder. Your boy guessed it. But I do know that all the N64 games are trash, and a lot of the newer ones are trash. There was like I think there was one on the Wii that kind of like the motion controls were kind of cool, but the game itself wasn't that great. And I'm pretty sure I had that game, and I must have taken it into GameStop or something and got rid of it. Yeah, I had one on the Wii, and that one was okay. But all the ones like after like the N64 game, the fishing games were absolute trash. Smoking some weed right before some gay sex. She's probably mashing all 3 buttons. If you oh my. Yeah, like there, I got a pike and I was able to wiggle the D-pad and get him off of me because if you catch one of those, it doesn't count. You need to have bass. So that was, I was pulling too hard on it. Yeah, GameStop. That is a that is like thievery because you'll buy like a brand new game for $60 and then you'll take a game and they'll give you like what $7 for like a $60 game. And then it's like only store credit. And if you don't take store credit, they even take more off of it. It's like, what the? I can't remember what the percentage was that they take off if you just want cash, but it's pretty bad. Especially like getting $7 for like a brand new game that you just bought or something. It's terrible. Yeah, so if the fish jumps out of the water, you actually want to let up on reeling them in because that's a time when you're gonna lose the line. If you're pulling all the way, if you're trying to reel in as fast as possible and they're jumping out of the water, you'll 9 times out of 10 you will lose your bait and you will lose the fish. So I mean, I just let go when that happens. And there's also, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the 2 lines in the top right corner, but one of them is a pressure line, and if the pressure line goes above a certain amount, what'll happen is you'll put too much tension on it, and you're gonna hear beeping and stuff like that. And if you hear that, you might you want to let up on reeling in because you'll lose the fish. If you like, it'll go the screen will flash. That's a key that you want to look into. And it all depends on your equipment too. If you've got a weaker line, then it's a bigger chance to break the line. And if you've got, I'm not sure. The rod I think is just for casting, and the bait. It just depends on. Different baits work in different waters, and if you look at the map, it'll tell you this is murky or day, like evening or day or whatever. Like it'll have different like cloudy or like conditions, and certain baits. It'll even say in the description what they work good for. I hope Miss Honor and Tinnue are getting close to beating Pebble Lake. I'm having it rough here. The game does definitely pick up after this first tournament because it's more common to find bigger fish. It's kind of rare and unfortunate to catch the big fish, and I should just catch 2-pounders and start stacking at this point. There is a monster bass that I think ranges between 30 pounds and like it might go over. I know it goes up to 90 something, but it's like it's only in a specific spot, and you have to have a specific line and a specific bait equipped for it to even like bite your line, and for it to show up is a whole nother story. And it'll pull up on like a newspaper will come up and say monster bass has been caught, and it's a pretty interesting thing. Nobody's pulled it off on a good run, but it would really speed things up if you were able to get it right away. And it's in the third lake, which is Sydney Lake. Yeah, you can only keep 5 fish in your box or whatever. So when you go over 5 fish, it'll replace whatever pound, like the least biggest fish that you have will be replaced with a bigger fish if you caught a bigger, or if the one you caught isn't bigger than any of the 5, it will it won't be put in your box. Yeah, your live well. So you can hold up to 5 and each day, and you have 3 days of each tournament, and the point threshold is, or the pound threshold is different on each lake. I mean, I really like this game for the fishing game. I mean, I'm not even really that into fishing, but this game it's got great music, and it's a pretty chill game, and like all of the stuff that you can buy from the bait shop is really cool. I'm getting there. I need a couple of 7-pounders. Yeah, I was discussing the Rollin deep tapes earlier. I caught Overfiend's attention with that before he went to take a nap. Later in this marathon, we'll be seeing EVO Search for Eden, which is my favorite game of all time. It's like the most expensive, complete in box Super Nintendo game, aside from, I think there's like a Donkey Kong Country like special edition. I don't remember what that card is, and then there's I think there's a Star Fox tournament like edition or something, and then there's a Earthbound is pretty high up there. EVO Search for Eden also is 46 billion year story in the Japanese copy. And it actually had a prequel, which I was unaware of until a few years ago, which was 46 Okunin Mana, like, and all that just stands for like 46 billion year story in Japanese, but it's there's a PC 90. It's like some really old like computer that's like a Japanese exclusive computer that it's like a 5-disc thing, or 4 or 5 discs, and it's like, I'm talking like floppy disk. I'm talking like that kind of old school. Yeah, I can guarantee Miss Honnor's stomping me out right now. Yeah, well, $250 for a loose cart. I mean, I know my boy Old World Gamer. He's a complete in box kind of guy, and I mean, if you look at complete in box for Evo, it's a different story. I also, Saturn Bomberman is another. It's a Sega Saturn game. That one's really high up there too. In box? Are you kidding me? That's a steal. Somebody needs to snag that, because they were going for like in an expo for $1,000, and then like that may not even be like with the wrapping on it. Like with the wrapping on it, like I've seen it go for $3,000. Just saying. I mean, Yeah, mint and sealed and all that, like, we're talking 3 grand. And shame on anybody who, like, unwraps that if they buy it. I mean, like, I'm into collecting games and stuff. My dad was a baseball card collector. And he actually, from what I heard, my dad had the 52 tops, like, the whole set, like the one with Mickey Mantle, like rookie and shit. And I think what happened is they had to move at one point, and his mom like forced him to sell it for $1 to his cousin and my uncle, and he just got a steal on that. Like, he got the, you know, the, was it the Hank Aaron and the Mantle and cards for super cheap, which those are worth like hundreds of thousands. Yeah, my grandmother forced my dad to sell his complete complete set of like a 52 top. I think it was that 52 50. I don't remember what exact. I'm pretty sure it's 52, the one with like the most expensive Mantle card in it, and he sold that for $1. I mean, $1 was, you know, obviously worth a lot more back in, I think it was the 70s at that time, but than it is now. But still, like, that's worth hundreds of thousands today. Man, I'm just gonna have to collect some small ones and finish out day one. This is, or the first journey. This first tournament, on a good pace, you'll have it under a half an hour, but have fun resetting to get that kind of a run. You never got the game? Holy. Wow. What a scam. I know there's TurboGrafx games that are released. I've got a Sega Saturn, and there's obviously like Panzer Dragoon and stuff like that. That's insane price. I see Tinnue with a big fish right now. I'm jealous. I'm gonna have to catch 1 or 2 fish on day 3 here, which sucks. That's why we have the estimate so high, because I knew I was gonna get screwed. I have not had a good race like in a marathon of this. I've had a good race where I think my PB like is sub 3 in a race, but. I'm right behind Tinnue. I just need 1 more fish. I mean, the game can change hands at any moment. I mean, I wouldn't count me out, even though I I pretty much said Tinnue's gonna beat me. So I mean, I shift left and right, and I zoom the camera out to kind of try to find fish. It's but I mean, this is a great race game as far as it's anybody's game at any point. It's not. You know, it's not set in stone like, oh, this person's gonna win. It's like anything can happen. So I think they buy the fish finder or something in their route. I do not. I don't even buy it. I don't even bother with the fish finder. I get the engine early. What does that put me on? That should do it. 56, 14. I'll just move on. I mean, I think I emphasized trying to catch big fish too early, and it's really kind of more uncommon. I should just catch a bunch of small ones on day one, but I just don't like to. I like to go big or go home, you know. It varies what they're gonna get at the end too. Like they have high and low ranges, so like sometimes they'll just come out of nowhere and get their highest. Their highest range I think is a 56 something. So, oh shoot, I gotta do some shopping. So I think I don't know. I think we're all in the Eagle Lake now. Miss Hunter is going to be most likely the first to finish. She is just snagging all the big fish. So I believe the only thing the rod does is cast better, but it may have something else. When I looked at the description of the rod, all it says is like casting, but it might help with, you know, having the line break or something. But the reel is the most important thing because that's how fast you can reel them in. And then if you're gonna venture out far from the dock, you want to have a better engine because the starting engine is really slow. I think it was like somebody like Fuzziness got a fishing game into GDQ once, but this fishing game is much better. I think he had a Wii fishing game that got in. It's also similar to, like, I think Big John got a golfing game in, or something like that. Second length max. But we want to hit 64 pounds. That's what I have written down. 64, 65. Again, it can be done all in 2 days. So like, ideally we catch, you know, all big fish on day 1 and 2, and then completely skip day 3. Don't have to do anything on day 3 on both of these lakes. But I mean, if you're not finding big fish, you're not finding big fish. Then it's reasonable to go for some smaller ones. And the pro, you know, difficulty, like, you need all big fish at all. Like, you need to just always be catching big fish. Like, how big can the poundage be? It might go up to 13 on this lake. Well, if you caught all of that, yeah, but the chances of that happening, good luck. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm the one who put this one on the leaderboard, and it was a low-key game, and I don't even know if there's footage of anybody beating the game on pro. I have yet to beat the game on pro. I've made it to the last tournament and just could not. Like, I gave up because I wasn't catching 20-pound fish at all. You need to have 130s, like 5 or 6 pounds. I don't remember, but by the end of it, which means you need to average like 9 pounds each fish or something, like 9 or 10. I am getting no better luck here. Whatever. Yeah, we would have really liked to have Joe D'Amelio here. It was his suggestion to, like, he was like, oh man, we're going to have a Rollin Deep Marathon 4, and we are going to race Bassmasters Classic. Joe D'Amelio currently holds the world record for this, and Joe D'Amelio was also, like, the heart of our marathon, so he's been, you know, having some things go on, and he hasn't been able to be around the Twitch scene, you know. So, like, we miss him, and this run is in dedication to, or this race here for the marathon is in dedication for Joe D'Amelio. Man, I'm getting some awful luck. I expected no less. I can spend like 5 minutes out of here and I've caught like a 2-pounder maybe. Jesus. I mean, I guess I could go over some of the facts of Rollin Deep Marathon or something like that. I mean, this is the 4th marathon that we've had. The first couple marathons were done on Joe D'Amelio's stream, and then on the third marathon, we made a channel for it exclusively. And so we have the Rollin Deep Marathon Twitch channel now. So that's just a new thing, and it's been going pretty well. But our main goal is to get a live marathon going on. And this is the 4th marathon, and we have sort of we're sort of teamed up with Speedrunners League. It's a work in progress, but there's going to be a lot more runs today. This is more of a laid-back sort of a run. Pre-recorded, come on! If it was pre-recorded, I would have been halfway through the game right now. Would have been rolling out the sub 2 hour. But nobody ever splice or ever cheat. It's a very, very bad thing to do. It is fully discouraged, and all of your credibility will be thrown down the toilet, you know, flushed down the toilet, and nobody will ever take you seriously. Yeah, that's what I meant. We want to have a live in-person, like we want to have a venue. We want to have that's what I was talking about, as opposed to like everybody just streaming from home. We want to have like a lot, like everybody chilling in one place. Well, I meant live and in person. That's what I meant to say. I meant to say live and in person, as opposed to everybody just at home streaming. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna stack up on 2-pounders and hope that my luck can change here soon. But yeah, this is you know, nice early in the morning run. Get your orange juice, get your apple juice, make some waffles or pancakes or something. Kick back. There's going to be a lot of excitement to come later today. Really sad that Joe D'Amelio can't be here and be with us. That would that would change the dynamic of this race. All right, we're on the come up. 5 p.m. your time? Dang. It is 7:40 a.m. my time on the West Coast. And we're gonna be rolling this marathon until we're gonna be going another looks like 14 hours. There's a lot of content today. Yeah, so a good run would already be on the 3rd lake right now, but for a marathon run, you expect no less. I predicted that I would have a trash run. I guess I probably should have had more hope, but it's really just a lot of RNG and like sense. It's kind of just sensing it out and just going to the right spot of the lake and just finding that position that just hooks you up with all the fish. I'm gonna find my sweet spot pretty soon. I'm feeling good about that. Feeling confident, feeling good. Yep, I found it. I'm telling you, I'm gonna find it. So there's like another site. Like if you visually see that the fish is just absolutely enormous, that's gonna be a 10+ pounder. That's gonna be like, this is a medium size. Like you will see when it's a size up from this, and that's pretty hype. If somebody gets that, that would be insane. I mean, we have 3 people in the race, so it's quite possible. Damn. I'm gonna guess 7 on this one. I'm gonna hope. We're gonna have a 7. Oh, we got 5. Honestly, I would pay more attention to what Miss Honners and Tinnue's doing. I think I'm pretty close to where Tinnue. I'm pretty like me and Tinnue are pretty close. I think Miss Honor just taken away with this one, as expected. Yeah, that's usually what happens. Is we just stack up a bunch of 7-pounders and that's it. But it's very exciting when you catch like something like 15-pounder, and like that amps it up. Oh, see, I found the sweet spot. I found these little bastards. I mean, I would say if anybody is interested in picking this game up, I mean, it's a very easy game to pick up, and it's very chill. You know, it's not a stressful speed run like, unless you know you're really going in on it, but it's more of a just like relaxing speed run than anything. I'm getting unlucky as far as even the big ones are only 5 pounds. Oh, I mean, you can grind the heck out of this game, and world record's definitely doable. For it's not like there was always going to be room for better RNG, I would say, and like if we had more runners, it would probably show like. Yeah, she's probably. Yeah, I agree. She should be on the third lake. My PB would have been there 7 minutes ago, but I'm. Just bust out a casual world record in the marathon. I'm rooting for that. At least a PB. A PB would be nice. Miss Hunter has all the time in the world to go for monster bass at this point. She's on the lake with the monster bass. It's off the map. So if you look at the map, you will like basically go to a secret area in the lake, and at that point you have to equip the 100 pound line or whatever, and then I think it's the grubs that are the most effective, but you also like you have to do that, and then like you have to be in a specific spot, like you have to cast in a specific area, and then it's like I don't know how the RNG plays, but it is freaking huge. Like when that thing's on screen, like it's and it's a different color bass, and it's enormous. I mean, like the minimum would be like a 30-pound fish, and it goes up to 90 or so. Like, bam, one fish could get you 90 pounds on the board, and then you could be done. Like with one fish, you could basically finish out that whole lake. In the practice pond. Alright, this is not the sweet spot. I'm probably gonna grab another drink here in a minute, so don't mind me. It's gonna be an optimal drink grab though, so it's gonna save time over the run because I'll stay hydrated, you know. That helps a little bit. That 7-pounder helps. No, this is not a pro attempt. Nobody, there's no footage out there that I know of that anybody's even beaten pro. I don't even know if it's like how doable it is to even beat it. Amateur is the speedrun friendly mode. Pro is like, I went in, so I was 9 hours in, and I just kept having to restart the final tournament, and I could not catch anything other than 8 pounds. And you need more. I mean, if you do the math, I mean, what's 8 times 5 is 40, right? And then for 3 days, that's 120, and you need 130. Lay off. Small fuckers. Okay, we got it. We in there. I mean, let's just say you average 8 pounds on the last lake, is what I was saying. You can only have 5 fish, right? So that's 40 pounds per day, and you need. So at the end of the 3rd day, you would have 120 pounds if you had all 8 pounders. That's not good enough. You need to have 130. I couldn't look it up somewhere, but it's the exact number is like 136 or something pounds, which means you need to have more on average 9 pounds, and those are a lot more rare. And the idea is what you're gonna have to do is catch a 20 pound, or at least like 1 or 2 20 pounders, basically, in pro edition or the pro difficulty. And I would love to see it. Like me and Joe D'Amelio and Hunter were looking into trying to complete a run, but I haven't found anything out there on anybody. And there's like, that would be where you would need the like if there was a monster bass on the last lake. That would up your chances of being able to actually beat the game. Miss Hunter just wants to just rub it in our faces of how we're like an hour behind, and it's like no joke. Like I'm pretty much like 40 minutes behind Hunter. Yeah, trust me, I tried it. I got too tired and I was just too frustrated with trying to complete a pro run. It was going pretty well until the final, and then I was like, I think it was like, got to the final tournament, something like 4 hours, and I spent 4 hours, 5 hours on the final tournament and got nowhere, and I just gave up. Yeah, that's what I was saying. This race is dedicated to Joe D'Amelio, and if you don't know who Joe D'Amelio is, I mean, you can look up his Twitch channel or speedrun.com stuff. He has the, I don't know if he still has the Super Castlevania 4 world record, but he did. And he has, he's right behind the Hulk on Aladdin, and he does Diddy Kong Racing, and Super Valis 4, as well as he sniped the world record in this game. And it was funny because it happened all so quickly. Like, he did his first run, and he was just very frustrated with this game. And he's like, what are you guys doing to catch the fish? And he was actually playing on SE2 Snes, and what had happened is SE2 Snes crashed on him a few times playing this game because he had the hook on or something like that. And what happened was, I mean, he crashed the game, and then it was just like really frustrating. And then all of a sudden, like, he finishes a run like 330 or 320 or something, and then next thing you know, he just like busts out, like, he bops my time when I thought, like, I was the first to get sub 3, and I thought that was like a godlike run, and then all of a sudden, like, everybody, like, Joe bops me, and the next thing you know, Honor bops me, and then like Tinnue bops me, and all of a sudden I'm 4th place when I had, like, I thought sub 3 was god tier, and they just like proved me wrong with the, like, Joe getting a sub 230 and Honor and Tinnue bopping me. So we are on the come up because I'm finding some bigger fish. We're gonna at least come close to, you know, this race with Tinnue. I mean, Honor's leagues ahead as you know, predicted, expected. Do 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 do. Okay, that helps. But yeah, and then so Joe D'Amelio and me are the two people who started up this marathon, and like I said, it was his idea to race this with us in this marathon, but things came up and he was, so that's really unfortunate because it was his, like, he really wanted to have this run, this Bassmasters Classic run done in a race in the marathon, so not having him here it's just a big unfortunate thing. Yeah, Joe DiMaggio. I used to call him Joe DiMaglio. That was a thing. All of a sudden now I'm coming alive here. We're getting like back-to-back big ones. This is more like what if you get this from the beginning and it's just popping, like, this is what you want. You want to see, like, you know, you just want to cast in there, find a big one, catch it, and grab it, and just repeat, rinse and repeat. Yeah, I ran capeless in Aladdin because I'm a hardcore, like, low percent. I prefer low percent runs, which means, like, beat the game with the least amount of stuff possible. So I'm actually getting closer to finishing Lake 2 finally, but it's this last half has been much better than the first half of this lake. Yeah, so we're gonna upgrade that motor too pretty soon. So I don't need much on the third day here. I only need 11 pounds. That can all be like I can catch 5 2-pounders and be good. But that would not be what I would prefer 2 7-pounders. So we'll try to do some dock fishing and see what happens. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's we're doing it now. This is what I was hoping would happen earlier. Just like boom, back to back to back, fucking big boys. So like when you saw like it was clicking there, that's when I let up on reeling in because that's when your line's gonna snap. That's an I don't know. I don't think they have audio on theirs, but. There is that clicking sound, and when you get that, it's close to the line breaking. And it has to do with that top right bar. Like if you see the top arrow on that top right bar, that's the pressure or the tension from the fish. And then when that line goes up, the higher chance you have of breaking. It's not really that I don't really look at it that much, but when it's just an interesting thing. If you see it go over like halfway, then there's a lot of tension on the line. Oh yeah, 7.6. Oh, okay, we're on the come up. I just need like a 2-pounder or two 2-pounders or whatever. So like in that case, like I'll do like short casts and just try to get it. So that, because the farther you throw out there, the farther you have to reel them in. So if I just want a couple small ones or something, I'll just do some quick casts. And unfortunately, I got 2 pikes or whatever. So that was a dead cast. But the dock fishing is working on day 2. And I can skip day 3 altogether is what this means. Or is this day I don't even know. I think this is day 3. Rolling deep. Oh baby, here it is. See, now it's happening. Now the game is being forgiven. It's you know, it gives and it takes away and then it gives, you know. It was treating me like dirt to begin with, but now I've shook hands with it, you know, I've made friends with the game and now it's paying off. Okay, so I am on to Lake Ronkonkoma, which is the 3rd lake. Do not know where Tinnue is at, but Miss Hunter's been there for a minute. Probably almost onto the 4th lake. If she only has 32 pounds, Miss Hunter is, yeah, that's why she said to slow down. I'm coming up here. Oh, I need to buy some stuff, actually, I think, yeah. Give me a second. Did I have enough for? No. Oh yeah, I can't. I didn't. So I just bought a better engine, and then I'm gonna equip the Jig and Pig, which is my favorite bait. So it's gonna be the bait. The bait change is gonna be the game changer. This is where it's at right here. The Jig and Pig. This is where I make my move. And with the upgraded engine, I'm able to, you know, go faster. Like now I'm more inclined to venture out. With that garbage engine that you start with, it's really bad. Now I've got it up and running a little bit. So we're gonna find the sweet spot. Yeah, and what's interesting is like the Genesis version of this is quite different. All the prices on all the equipment's different, and like the music, like the sound chip for the Genesis is like this more gritty, like metal type, you know, sound chip, and then like the graphics, like they're like more retro. They're more. This is more of a cleaner version, but like the Genesis version is this like gritty version of the game, and the menuing's really bad too, and it doesn't even show you like when you're on an item or something. All right, Miss Hunter, I'm coming up. I'm right behind Miss Hunter. I'm feeling good. I'm in rhythm right now. Like we had a rough start, but things are looking good. I believe that we can catch up. The threshold for 3, what you want to have is 74 pounds by the end of it. 74, 75. So here you kind of get, like it increasingly gets more difficult, but at the same time the bigger fish are more common, I would say, in the later lakes. So it kind of balances out in that way. Although right now I'm getting nothing but junk. Ideally, you want to have like less than a half an hour per tourney. Go for the monster bass. I've never gotten the monster bass. I can go down to where the monster bass is. We can do that. I can do that at least. But when it shows up, you're supposed to have the 100-pound line equipped, and if you have that equipped, you can't catch the other ones. I can show you where the secret. I'll do that. If it shows up, then it shows up. You'll see it, but I highly doubt that we'll be catching any monster bass because they never show up for me. I'll go down to where it is. I'll go to the location where you can find him. Just to showcase. Oh, baby, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. If it shows up, I'll try to catch it. But if you have anything less than a 100-pound line, which I didn't even buy, it's probably gonna just break your line. I'll show you where it's at though, and maybe it'll show up. This helps. So I might actually have to be pulling up the map and doing a little exploration. Some no EG, no YBA. Yeah, we're doing a YBA here. We're gonna just do a map exploration. See what we got here. So we got 2 decent sized fish. So we're gonna go for 3 more. I'm gonna head down. I'm gonna show you right now where the so when you push, let's see your selects, tourney info, it'll show you a map and it'll show you where you're. So you have to go to the bottom left where all that land is, and you can actually go off. So we're gonna head down there. I'll show you. I mean, I got the upgraded motor. We're good to venture out. Fish for other people. If you throw your if you cast onto the land, or I think onto another boat, it'll take your lure. It'll like it'll say like yeah, you lose your bait, and it'll say watch where you're casting, man, or something like that. Like let's see here. I need to pull up the map again because I'm. Okay, we need to go around there and then back into here. We're getting close. So I'll show you the secret area. Why not? Huh, you can't steal. Well, I mean, in Pokemon, can you throw Pokeballs at other trainers' Pokemon? No, they block your shot, man. Okay, so right here, this right here, no. This right here leads to a secret area. So right here, you're not supposed to like go back here, or it's not on the map. Like it doesn't show you that this is a thing. And in this far corner right here, this is where the monster bass is located, right here in this. And like here, I'll show you on the map. In the bottom left, that little icon there is your boat, and you're on land. Like it doesn't show you on the map. It's off the map, and it's considered to be a secret area. And here, what you want to have equipped is like grubs and 100-pound line. And I mean, I've tried, and I've never came across it. Miss Haunter has caught one before. They don't like me, so that's why. Like I'm like the last person who should be here because they're not going to show up. But we'll see. We'll see. This is where they are, and the monster bass is enormous. But the chances of it showing up, especially for me, it's pretty unlikely. And then the travel distance that you have to come all the way down to like the other side of the map. That's why it's not really recommended in a run, but. You know, why not? I mean, Overfiend needs to sleep. He needs to take a nap right now, so just extend this fishing. Yeah, see, nothing there. It's hit or miss. Like if they might be closer up this way or something. Well, yeah, I mean, if you catch it and it's 90 pounds, boom, like you're done with this whole tournament. You can move on to the next lake. But the likelihood of it showing up for one is pretty rare, and then catching it is a whole. Like catching it, it's the hardest one to catch too. likely break your line. And I'm getting... Yeah, it's in Lake 3. I'm in Sydney Lake. How did you just get there? I think I was definitely on the come up there on Eagle Lake at the end. But now I'm on a drought here. So I'm trying to fish for the monster bass and coming up empty. I mean, I typically don't like the shallow water. This is more of the shallow side. I mean, feel free to test it out. I mean, this game has not been, you know, nobody's tasked anything here. Nobody's looked into a lot of the mechanics of this game and how RNG works. This game could definitely use a scientist, and Overfiend's snoozing it up right now, and not too interested in checking out this game. He did do all the science in Super Metroid, and Overfiend's actually a big part of how Zost has like Overfiend has the knowledge, and Zost has like the you know, the skill. So you kind of put those two elements together. Like Overfiend does a lot of research, and it gets over to Zost, you know, and then you have this beautiful combination. So this game does need a scientist, but it's not. Not on high demand like it is for games like Super Metroid. Which we did. We had a Super Metroid race with Overfiend and Jack yesterday, so people missed that. Yeah, see, this is the problem that I have when I come down here. I get absolutely nothing, and then not only do we not get the big, we don't even get any fish at all. That's why I don't usually mess with it. I mean, I showed you where the big bass is, but I'll only give it like 2 more casts, and I'm out of here because. Alright, I'll do one in the trees. But, yeah. Nothing but small fish that I don't really want, and then, the big bass is just... The monster bass is... I've never encountered it. I know it's here, I know it's right where I'm casting, but one of the things is you're supposed to have the fish finder. I don't know if it's mandatory to have the fish finder for it to show up. That's another thing. I mean, you might have to actually buy the fish finder for it to be a possibility. I know you're supposed to listen for the beeps. And like there's supposed to be a specific signal with the fish finder that should alert you that the monster bass is there, but again, I don't really know how that works. It makes a bunch of noises, and I can't make any of it. I was just like beep 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 beep. It's like, well, what? That's what the fish finder is basically. it doesn't display the fish like it, like if it displayed the fish, like it showed you like an underwater cam or something, like if it did anything that was like, oh, there's 4 fish, like if it displayed a number of fish that were there or something more understandable. This is, but yeah, no, we're letting Miss Honor just have it right now because she wanted me to come out here so she could extend her lead. It was all part of the scheme. Yeah, see, and I'm not even getting big fish out here. That's the downside. Oh no, there's footage of people. Miss Honnor's caught one before. I think she's tried to do runs with it, but it hasn't. Nobody's successfully gotten it like in a good run or anything. So, I mean, it technically it would be like the thing to do if you just came down here, just caught that one fish, and then ended the whole, like, just that was the only fish you needed, because you can get over 70 pounds. I think it could be like an 80 pounder, you know, and then boom, like that's like the one thing you only need. So it would all be done in one thing, but that's like a pipe dream, you know, like. That not only do you have like a really good run up to this point, but then you like, boom, like it would just roll right out. See, this is more what I'm talking about. This is the spot here. But again, these are just like medium-sized fish. Not sure. Tinnue probably caught up a little bit there. That's what I'm guessing. What did we get? Yeah, 5 pounds. Yeah, I mean, you could have any theory you have to different characters having different, you know, probabilities of whatnot, but it does say that each fisherman like has a different, like it sort of hints that they might have a different specialty. Like it says, oh, he catches good in shallow water, and he does, like, you know, this fisher, but it doesn't seem to make any difference who you are as far as what actually happens. But I mean, again, this game hasn't really been researched to the full extent where people actually. It is documented, like what character you use though on the leaderboard. That's big. But I will throw out that the two people that I'm racing are super fly ladies, so, you know. Very fly ladies. Obviously, unfortunately, they're not on mic, but Tinnue and Miss Honor are, you know, super fly. Yeah, Tinnue's got I think blue hair going on. And it's pretty intense. Uh, Come on, don't. Yes. Yeah. Oh, the blue hair is gone. Come on. Yeah, we've got Super Castlevania 4 coming up with Tinnue. We should have a follow command too, I think, that links all the runners that are currently running or something. And then obviously check out like Overfiend is our technician for this marathon, and right now he's taking a nap because this is a longer run, and we needed something like this to buffer in, you know, him sleeping. He like always sleeps in, and this is like early for US. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about following me. Follow those fly ladies, Miss Honor and Tinnue. Don't even bother with my screen. some bum that's losing the race. The person that would actually make that command, Miss Honor, is racing and is winning the race, so I wouldn't. I wouldn't pester her to make that command at the moment. Yeah, Miss Honor is streaming on an alt account, so you won't find, like, she's not live on her account. I mean, you just click on the username that she's shouting with. Let's see. Miss Honor, what does she run? She runs Ignition, which is like a racing game. She's done Animaniacs, Hamtaro Ham games. She has tried to do EVO Search for Eden runs, but you know, like nobody's ever gonna touch my times on there, so like my world records are gonna be locked in for another 46 billion years with that 46 billion year game. That is like that is definitely the most I guess dedicated game that I have to maintain world record for. Like that's like people have been cutting my Bomberman times. You know, that's I do plan to come around to improving that and putting them back where they belong. But as far as like if anybody ever bopped any of my Evo times, like you'd probably see it the next day or that day, me coming back and saying hell no to that. Well, I'm just clearly stating my EVO search, read, and world records will not be touched. So you might as well just stay away. That's what I'm saying. I'm basically saying you might as well just stay away because like you can play the game, you can speedrun it, you can get second place. That's fine. That's good and all, but you're not getting the world record. And there's actually, for the Bomberman community, there's a lot of Japanese runners that are insane. Like, we had our own little competition going on, and then, like, the Japanese, they just take it to a whole nother level. They're actually pretty, like, really, like, super competitive, and, like, they take that game, like, to another extent in speedrunning. Like all the Japanese record, like that are out there for Bomberman, are just they're on a whole different playing field. Oh, good luck with that. You're just wasting your time going for world record. You're not gonna get it. As far as you know, that Bomberman on the NES. Bomberman 1 on NES, the world record, that's not a good record. That's easy to bomb. That's free. And now that I have an EverDrive for NES, like I can basically run on console. Because my previous run was on emulator. I'm a big like an active about people not running on emulators by any means that they can. Like it's okay to test games out and practice them on emulator, then you know do some run like like your first few runs on emulator. But if you like, I think if you like the game and you want to take speedrunning it seriously, I think you should always eventually you should get you should get it the physical copy of the game and speedrun it on that, like by any means, like over any emulated runs, because emulations, they don't run the games accurately, right? There's I mean, there's a bunch of videos out there that'll explain like what emulation is, like how it doesn't it rounds up these numbers that are infinite, and there's a video explaining this pretty well about Super Mario 64, and the platforms will start rising on emulator. It's a Wii VC, the virtual console. The virtual console version of SM64 in the Fire Sea, there's the platforms will just start rising over time. So if you leave the game on in Bowser Sea, like in Fire Sea or something, like because of how the emulator or the emulation rounds up numbers, it basically in a nutshell, it rises the platform. So you can just stand on the platform and it'll rise up to the top of the like level. Which, so if you have stuff like that going on emulation, like it doesn't run the game properly. It's kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm against emulator runs, even though Miss Haunter's stopping me out on an emulator right now. Do 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 do. We're getting there. I might not lose so much time on this segment. So if we were on like the run of our lives, right, we'd be close to finishing, but that's not realistic in a 3-person race that we all get insane times. That's complete RNG. Do, 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 do. Yeah, this is definitely starting to come along. I would say the first hour of this run for me has been complete trash, and then it started to get better. I might as well just grab this and then move on to day 3. So I need 13 pounds on day 3, which can be done with 2 fish. Or it could be done with 1 fish, but that is a very rare occurrence. Do 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 do. Not one. The Shadows of Miss Haunter is just killing it. I'm pretty sure me and Tinnue were close. I'm pretty close to getting to the 4th lake myself, and yeah. If this is a 7-pounder and then I get one more, that's it. I'll be able to save time on my PB here if I can get a 7-pounder real quick. Yeah, there's one. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Like if I get to the 7-pounder real quick, bam, I can save a minute. So like right now, this is trending towards a 3.5 hour pace. It's my estimate here. Yeah, this is good. If this is 7 pounds, even if it's 5 pounds, it might be enough. I'll have 63 eventually. I need 73. I need 74. Even with me going to try to catch the monster bass and wasting time doing that, I might be saving time here. My PB did not have a good length run Konakama. This is where everybody must have gained time on me. Okay, we're good. We in there, rolling deep. Get hype. How come I keep missing this turn? Okay. That's rolling pretty deep. My boy Nick Casey heading on to Sydney Lake. So they didn't even hit 70 pounds, so that was a low roll then. See if I can afford the engine. Yeah, I have 30, just enough. Alright, we'll see if a mod can do it then. Yeah, all the other runners on the leaderboard use Bob. It's like it's a thing for them. I've always used Nick Casey. I also like Earl Green. Like I'm not a Bob fan, but they seem to be all about Bob. I like Nick Casey and Earl Green. Because Earl Green is all about the green stuff. So as you see, I bought another motor and this one just revs up. So now we can go fast, right? But yeah, man, preserve the Rollin deep tapes at all costs. Don't let the sun, you know, explode and destroy all the data on the internet. Preserve the data that's on the internet. This looks good. Because we can't let all of our intelligence be destroyed. Bam! Yeah, we're on the come up with this new engine. I'm gonna have to BRB though. Pulling too hard on it. Well. Okay. I might have to screen peek at Miss Honor and Tinnue to see. I think me and Tinnue were neck and neck, and Honor's in the final leg. Oh, this is a big boy. Yeah, Honor's just like left and right catching big fish. Okay, yeah, she's really close to being done with City Lake. I just pretty much started. Oh, popping on. I know where you are, Hunter. I checked. You're about like 15 pounds away. You're about 2 7-pounders away from the final lake. So the thing about the Genesis version is it seems like the fish just rarely spawn at all. Like, it's very difficult to catch fish in the Genesis version. So I've gotten a bunch of 5-pounders, which is pretty weak. Rolling deep. What is going on? Dick smack in my face. Pound in my ass. Whoa! Well, if it isn't another fish-made nigga. Hunter finished in 10 minutes, yeah, but she has to do the whole final lake. Joe too strong. I don't know where he pulled that run out of, but well, if it isn't another fish, mate. That helps. Did you catch an 18-pounder? I might have to pull this up. I'm telling Miss Hunter is just like she's insane. She's caught a monster bass before, and you know she's winning this race because she definitely has the most skill here. Lake 2, I get 64 pounds. So it's Lake 1 is 57, Lake 2 64, Lake 3 I get 74, and then this fourth lake I get 81 pounds, and then the last one is like 99 to 100. The last one doesn't play around. Oh, are you on pro or something? Are you playing on the pro difficulty? Might want to check yourself. PAL might be different. Lake 3, you need to be 74 pounds. That's the thing. If you're playing on Pro, it completely changes. Pro, you have to get. Let me think here. 3. I had to pull up my notes for that. All I know is that it ends up you have to catch 130 some on the final, and it's like the first lake is like 70 or something, and the second one's like 80. Like I base these off a range that they like how I determined all this is basically I would just weigh in without catching any fish, and then just kind of document what the top what the first place CPU NPC would get. So like I would just weigh in 3 days and then see what they get, and then it'll come up with something, and then it's different every time. Like they have low rolls and high rolls of like how many pounds they're gonna get, and I just like base it off of the high roll. So like the high roll, just so that way I always cover it. But then like you can cash in earlier before you get to that pound, and you can still win. Like you can chance it on a low roll, but I don't know. I mean, this whole game is kind of RNG, and that just kind of adds more to it. And if you don't get first place, you don't make as much money. Alright, day 2, Sydney Lake. Here we go. This Sydney Lake's going decent. Here we go. Yeah, it's coming. Like, this is more what you want. You don't want that little fish to Yeah, again, I pay more attention to what Miss Hunter's doing. She's just, I think she's on the last lake and getting close. Getting that sub 3 probably. Sub 3, that casually bops me. I mean, I got a 259 PB. I'm getting a lot of 5-pounders though. That's kind of concerning. Yeah, for the monster bats, you want to add the 100 line. You want to have the black line, and then you want to have. I think grubs is the best bait for that, but also, I mean, the jig and pig also works. We are getting close to the end of the race, or like we're gonna find out who the winner is probably within the next half an hour. That 7-pounder is good. What's going on? Mustachey rolling in. Yeah, we have a schedule of what games are on the schedule, what time they are expected to come up. This should come ahead of estimate, so it should kind of push the schedule up, and we might do some filler, in case, like, if somebody needs to have their time as it is, then we would have to do some filler. Which means we'll like throw in a bonus run. He also had incentives for doing an Earthbound race with me and Miss Honor of Boogie %. I think for the like future marathons, we should have incentives for like if this game we could have character selections and more stuff like that. We already had Super Metroid yesterday. That's usually a good finisher for a marathon because you have save and kill animals. But we've already had that done and they let the animals die. They save the frames. I was doing really good in the Sydney Lake, and now hit a dead spot. Yeah, I am the RPGodfather. I'm also doing the run here and commentating. Our technician Overfiend is taking a nap, and he's like the overlord. Overfiend, the overlord of this operation. He is like, and then we also, well, I mean, I guess we're not really listing who's commentating because a lot of times during this marathon, especially towards the later parts of the marathon, we're gonna have like 5 or 6 people in a call. Oh, our RPGodfather, which is not my Twitch username because somebody stole that username, unfortunately. Because they were memeing. There was some idiot who took that username and trolled me with it. Back when my account used to be RPG_gaming_the if. Yeah, it's I'm the RPGodfather, but I'm going to change my username like 2 or 3 weeks from now, and so it's kind of complicated. That's why I just follow Tinnue and follow Miss Honor. Don't worry about me. You can find me on speedrun.com under RPGodfather. That is my speedrun.com profile, which also has a link to my Twitch and all that, but it's sort of up to change. I have like over 100 games listed on my speedrun.com that I've speedrun. I've been speedrunning since 2010, late 2010. So it's been like an accumulation of 8 years. And I would consider myself a variety speedrunner. And there's certain games that I concentrate on getting really good times in, which EVO is one of them. EVO Search Read, which we'll see tonight. Man, these 5-pounders are disappointing. I'll go to day 3, and I need to hit 81, so where was I at? I'm pretty sure they're both on the final lake at this point. Tinnue and Miss Honor. And Miss Honor is about to finish. You're just going to be waiting up on me to finish. Yeah, the problem with the final lake is 5 pounds is not good enough. You need to get 100-pounders. Or, I mean, you need to finish with 100 pounds, which means you need to average, like, 8s, 7s, and 8s. You have to throw back 5s, usually, on the final day. The final tournament's pretty rough. Yeah, Miss Honor just completed day 1 from what I just saw. On to the second day in the final lake. I guess we could make a command of commentators later, that and follow command, but like I'll be commentating mostly throughout the day, but I won't be like necessarily the main commentator by any means on a lot of these. I'll just be like a hype man later. It's mainly what what my title is hype man. Bringing the Rollin deep excitement. Man, where are these big boys at? Yeah, this is. I think this has been a recurring problem on Sydney Lake, because for some reason day 3 just always does me dirty. It's been like I've always had like good day, like decent day 1 and 2, and then like day 3 I just get wrecked. That's why. Yeah, Kalaris is coming up next with Mario Kart DX. We're always gonna have what games coming up immediately next listed on the layout. This is within 30 to 40 minutes from finishing. The latest I think this is gonna go is to 3:30. We should be underestimate by half an hour, but you never know. Like, it could take me an hour to finish this final, like, feeling me. I mean, if everybody subs 3:30, that's a good marathon time, I would say. I'll be also running EVO Search for Eden tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, which is 10 p.m. Eastern time on the U.S. here. Yeah, Sydney Lake, it does me dirty, man. Like, I've never really had a good Sydney Lake. Go, Tinnue, go! Yeah, I mean, personally for me, it's just easier for me just to say, if you're interested in what I speedrun, just go to speedrun.com and look up RPGodfather, and you'll see a long list of things. Like it's much easier for me to do that than to say, like, try to name off all the games that I've run. So that was a 7-pound 11 ouncer. I think it's the biggest fish I've caught the whole run, and that's kind of sad. The biggest fish I've caught, 7 pounds 11 ounces, just there. I mean, you're gonna have to check for yourself on my speedrun because I can't. Good. The term good is it's an opinion based, like, what people consider good is on a different scale. You know, a game that I would consider good, someone else might consider complete trash. You know, and vice versa. Yeah, Warcraft 2. I actually want to get back into running that. I've gotten IL world records on that, and Warcraft 2, I did do a complete run, but it was absolute trash. And but my ILs were pretty good, and I was gonna work on all the ILs and then do a really good full game run of Warcraft 2. RTS speed runs are very, very fascinating. And shoutouts to Covert Muffin as well, who got Warcraft 3 into GDQ. One PC, I've done the PC 90 engine, you know, 46 Okunin Monogatari, the Shinkaran, which is a 1990 game that was only released in Japan, but they just recently came out with the translation. Yeah, I don't know who caught the 12 pound. I mean, my biggest fish has been a 7 pound 11. Like I not had that luck. This 2-pounder does not help. Yeah, so on the final lake, 5-pounders don't help much. A lot of time you'll have to throw them back. You need, I mean, I can do the math, but on average you need to have like at the bare minimum 7-pounders all around. If you have 9+, then you can start like if you catch like a bunch of 8-pounders or 9-pounders, you can start like 5-pounders will balance it out, but don't mind me, I'm sloughing it. I'm a whole tournament behind and entire leg behind. Nice. I do need a couple more big ones, I think. Oh, actually, you know what? I can catch a 2-pounder and be done. That's crazy. Finally, on the same playing field. I'm going to be on the same lake as Hunter and Tinnue. What is going on? Let's give me something. I actually think Tinnue caught up there and took the lead. It looks like, from what I can see, Tinnue passed up Miss Honor. And what was funny is I think I was ahead of Tinnue at one point. And yeah, the reason the estimate's so high is because you know, I actually pushed it up there because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do terribly. I can't beat it under 3.5 hours. Oh wow, they jumped up to 80. I'm glad I didn't stop at 81. They hit 82. So that was actually a gold split for me. I know I have a terrible segment there, I know. So on the final lake, like these medium-sized fish, they're like super common, but the thing is you gotta get at least like 7 pounds on average. Like it cancels. Like if you get a 9-pounder, then you know a 9 and a 5 like cancels out to around 7. Yeah, and I think the situation Miss Honnor's in, like, she cannot like take any 5s on that final lake, which sucks. But I'm cracking right now with a 7. Well, it's really close to being over, actually. They're on the final. Postpone it by 30 minutes. I mean, they're within 15 minutes of finishing, though. They might sub 3. I do hope Overfiend set his alarm, and I mean, he might have set it like 3.5. I did say it might be like sub 3 though. Overfiend's snoozing along. That's a question that I have to ask: is Overfiend ready to transition to the next run, or do we have to keep this layout until he wakes up? Looks like Tinnue's just about done. I just saw. Tinnue's gonna take first. I knew it. I knew it. Miss Hunter better not be sloughing around and let me catch up here and. Rollin deep. Yeah, Tinnue's just gonna casually cut my PB. No big deal. Bam! Rollin deep. Oh, we're on the come up again. You better watch out, Miss Honor. Like, if this keeps up, I'm catching all sevens. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Just give me a chance here. That's what I like to see. So technically, I think where Tinnue's at, like, she could cash in and possibly win, but you don't want to like chance it on the final race. I mean, there's been a lot of rolling deep. We're at the end of the race. I know the estimate's 4 hours, but we're all on the final lake, and Tinnue's about to finish. I don't know about Miss Honor though. She's struggling. I think the loser here, Miss Honor, has to do Tinnue's nails or something. That's like part of the agreement. Miss Honor now has to do Tinnue's makeup. Like, I mean, it's just how it is. Definitely has to do Tinnue's hair, so I mean. All right. Do. Yeah, they're letting me catch up. That's what's going on. They felt sorry for me. I'm catching all sevens. I'm on the come up. Once I catch another 7, I'm cashing in on day 1. I'm on day 2. Oh, my timer stopped. Oh, I pushed Z. Oh well, I'm not gonna know what time. I'm gonna look at the. That's fine. When I typed Lil Z in the chat, my Z button is stop timer. I didn't think about that. It's fine. I might have been able to gold this is all, but I can't. I'm not going to accept the fake gold. I did it! Well, when you map like like I map the space bar to my next split, and everyone always says, "Well, why do you do that if you're gonna type?" Well, I usually turn off the hotkeys when I type something, and I'm always on mic. There's a lot of runners that I don't like. They run like insanely like technical games, but then they'll find a way to like type a bunch of shit, and I don't understand that. Like, I can understand like having mic and like talking on the mic and doing a difficult speed run, but I can't understand like how you do like a high level speed run and like, you know, you're on world record, but you still have time to like type shit. That's way more insane than being on the mic and doing a run. So I'm on day 2. This is going very well. I'm catching up slowly. I'll type .done in the chat when I'm done. Overfiend better wake up. He better be awake. The B button I have is back on splits. So you have like a foot pedal, you mean? Like big time streaming big? See, I don't know if anybody's gonna hit that sub 3 hour run. They were both close. I think Tinnue needs like 1 or 2 more 7-pound, like 1 more 7-pounder. Oh, do you run PC games then? I'm gonna have to clean my controller after this because I got my controller on like, yeah. Tinnue first place, she wins. I think she gets $300 for that, right? Isn't that what we do here on Speedrunners League? The winner gets a fat payday. And like I said, Miss Hunter now has to, you know. Probably do her nails or something. It's part of the agreement. She's got the finish screen up. Oh no, isn't it? It's 255.57. Yeah, 255.57. My PB is a 259, so she just bought my PB by 4 minutes. Yeah, I was gonna say with such like a rough pebble lake too, that's pretty good. Like, but I went on a journey for Eagle Lake, or Lake Ronkonkoma too. Like I don't know, this whole run's been a long journey. Just like Miss Honor trying to catch that 7-pounder. It's a journey. So, grats to Tinnue. She is the you know, a fly lady, so give her a follow. She was gonna possibly be on mic, but I've never had Tinnue or Miss Honor on mic, so that would have been a real treat. But you know, I'm just a blabbermouth, so of course I'm gonna lose the race. Well, I had a, what, 47-minute pebble, and my PB's sub 30, so that was 18 minutes. I lost 18 minutes on PB right away. It's a bad feel when you just mess it, like you lose almost 20 minutes right away. And I've been roughly around that. I'm only plus 25 on PB. But I don't know where I'm at because my timer stopped, but it wasn't going to PB anyway. We can see if you can get a hold of Overfiend. Might have to call him. Get that alarm going. I'm guessing he hit snooze on that alarm because he's he's the over snooze. I'm coming up empty. This is not a good day 2. Day 1 was great for this final lake. Yeah, I guess 330 would have been a decent estimate, but I had to run the other day, it was like 340 or so. I might have to go to my secret spot in this final lake. I have a spot that I like. It seems to pull 9-pounders a lot. Does that mean Hunter's done? Yeah, am I just the lone wolf? I would like to give another shout out to Joe D'Amelio. This would have been a four-person race with Joe D'Amelio, and he would have. It would have been a lot more hype. He would have been on mic with me. That was our initial plan, was to have a 4-person race. Yeah, Miss Honor's almost done. Then you guys are just watching me, and Waiting for Overfiend. I don't know if he heard me properly when I said this will probably go way under estimate, but well, it honestly might take me another 30 minutes. I hate to say that, but it's not going that bad though. I've gotten a lot of 7 pounds. And I wanted to be safe on the estimate because people seem to complain when runs go over estimate. In RDM 3, I did a Pokemon trading card game run, and it was like 40 minutes over estimate. And then I think RDM 2, I did 50 Cent Bulletproof, and that was like 40 minutes estimate. And then they're like, "No, you're wasting other people's time," and shit. It's like, well, I mean, what do you want me to predict like an hour or two over estimate and then come on like 2 hours under estimate, possibly, or I don't know. Well, in Pokemon trading card game, that is, I mean, similar to this, it's just an RNG fuckfest, right? Oh, Tinnue already finished and Miss Haunter's about to finish. Yeah, I'd like to finish. I'm working on it. I'm getting some 5-pounders myself. Most people on the viewer side, I would say, don't really care about estimate. It has to go with like organizing and other run, like interfering with other runners and like making them wait like a half an hour more or something, or like pushing the schedule back, and people are on a tight schedule. As far as the runner, it's more on the runner side that the estimates matter, and the schedule and the organizing side of things. Like the viewer, yeah, I mean, you're just watching speed runs, you're just watching people chill. I mean, obviously this isn't going to be our like most serious speed run, but it's I mean, this is one of our big races though, because we have 3 people. Or it was going to be like I said, it was going to be a 4-man race, or two men and 2 fly ladies. Tinnue and Miss Haunter being the fly ladies. This was initially, like I said, we had one person that had to drop, Joe D'Amelio. It was going to be a 4-person race. Most of what else we have on the schedule is mostly solo runs. Take a look at what else we got. Yeah, I think all throughout the rest of the day it's solo runs except for Tasmania, which is another meme race. Like, if you thought this was a silly race game, later tonight when you see Tasmania, or I don't know, everybody's got their own time zones, but about 10 hours from now, when they fire up Tasmania, you'll see what a mess that is. Alright, so it's just me playing now, alright. Ah, come on! The cats are going hungry. But yeah, this, like I said, this in Tasmania is going to be the only race in the marathon today. Everything else is going to be a solo run, and they may or may not have commentators lined up. I'll be the hype man and the backup commentator or whatnot. And I do apologize for dragging this on, because now you guys gotta wait for the loser to finish. Back in the day, you know, I was the only speedrunner. I had world record, man. You know, before all these Superfly ladies came in and just, you know, smacked my ass. Ah, come on! I can't even keep it. What is going on? I'm getting trolled with 5-pounders here. I might have to go to my secret spot. All right, yeah, Miss Honor might be showing off the monster bass. That's a good. It's worth. Even though nobody donated for it, and you know, this is some bonus. This is some exclusive content here. Just give them something else to look at other than my disgraceful run. That's a good thing. Yeah, Miss Honor's showcasing the that's what the monster bass looks like. £34. I don't want to finish this day with 3 5-pounders, man. Don't make me do it. Then that makes day 3 impossible. Yeah, I suppose Miss Honor could probably make edit some commands for Nightbot. I was gonna do like a follow command, so like follow, then list the current runner's Twitch channel or something, and then I was gonna do what was the other one? I guess I was gonna think about doing a commentator one, but yeah, that's hard to keep up with what we're gonna be doing here today. There's gonna be so many people in and out here later tonight. Okay, I've caught like 5 in a row that are 5 pounds. I'm getting that trash RNG. I guess Overfiend must have known that I was gonna have a disgraceful 3.5+ hour run. But don't quit, guys. Never give up. Never give up. Yay! Nothing. Oh, here we go. Finally. Be a 9-pounder. Like, just be a buddy. 8 pounds would be also exceptional. There are 6-pounders out there too. They're kind of rare. Oh yeah. Oh, Rollin deep. That's my biggest catch all day. 8-pounder. Rollin deep. That was the big boy of the day on my my stream. So I'm on to the last day. I like to go in with 67 or so. I got a good amount. The end is near. I just need to catch 5 fish, right? Here's one. If I can sub 330, then we're all good. But that's a stretch. I think that's what the original estimate was gonna be. I think 330, and I'm like, well, I'm usually really drunk or really high when I play this game, so that's quite the feed. Go, Scrub Buster, go. Yeah, if only Scrub Buster was here to tell me that I'm a scrub right now. And I just got busted by Tinnue and Honor. We will have to track down Overfiend pretty soon. Might have to infiltrate his fortress. Might have to go, you know, check around Planet Zebes, see where he's at. He might be stuck somewhere in lower Norfair. Might have to get him out of there. That last catch was pretty good. We're making it. He might be in a mock ball right now. Yeah, I think so. We had 30. We'll just call it 35 subs from my stream. So if we can get 15 subs on this stream, the marathon channel itself is Rollin Deep Marathon. That's the home for this marathon, but me and Jerry decided we would try hosting it here and see how it works. It's gonna get more exciting. We just had to crack. We had to crack this morning open with a nice chill run in a race with 2 fly ladies that smacked the shit out of me. But I wouldn't have it any other way, actually. It's ladies first, you know. Gotta find that sweet spot. I think Jerry got gifted a sub. I mean, like when people gift subs, I would say that counts as a sub, but it's. Oh, why did I do that? Oh well. Yeah, we're gonna venture off up here. This has got to be it up here. This little, it's beeping all over the place. Yo, the Hulk, rolling deep. I'm sad that Joe D'Amelio can't be here. Because this was this run in particular is dedicated to Joe D'Amelio. Oh, she's sparking it up? Yeah. I thought that was the sweet spot. That was the pike spot, man. What are we doing? Yeah, it's gotta be right here. Yeah, Joe's been MIA for about, I think it's on coming up 3 to 4 months. Yeah, there's a sub goal, and basically it says 50, but we had about 35 on my stream at the end of yesterday, so like we'll call it 15 subs, and that sub goal is met, and we'll make another one. Oh baby, that's what I'm talking about. Where we at? 80s, 83. I could get 2 5s and a 7. This is totally doable. I basically just need to find these guys. Yeah, Tinnue's gonna be doing Super Castlevania 4. That's not too long from now, and this got like 5 hours maybe for now.
How we doing?
Oh, there you are, Overfiend.
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, Tinnue finished about half an hour ago.
Jesus.
Miss Honor finished about 15 minutes ago, and I'm about done.
Okay.
I'm glad you're here because
Thanks.
Yeah. I guess you could start talking to Clarus about what he wants to do. I'm about
I
five.
would assume he wants a speedrun.
I'm about 5 minutes from finishing, roughly. I would estimate. But again, this is an RNG-based system, so. Well, world record is 2 hours and 27 minutes, but the RNG in this game is so epic. Like, I mean, you can see, like, right now I'm just getting no fish at all, and that's bad RNG, and it's happened to me time after time and again. And I can take 2 5-pounders and be fine, but I can't even get those right now. Get away from me. If this is a 7-pounder, then we're like, all I need is 2 big fish and we're done. So. We will stop the bleeding when I pull the hook out of the fish's mouth. We'll stop the bleeding.
Doesn't that start bleeding?
No, when I put it in there, it starts bleeding. When I pull it out, it'll stop the bleeding after I cook it and fry it and eat it.
Alright.
How was your nap, Fiend? Did you dream of some good things there? Were you making it out of Lord No Fear okay in that dream?
Yeah, it was a lot like my marathon run.
Were you beating Jack in your dreams too, as well as you did yesterday?
Well, that wasn't a race. That was just like some route comparison thing.
Oh, so it was a known fact that you were going to beat him. It was just kind of, oh, yeah.
Well, the route I was doing is like a 2-minute advantage. It's just like a little harder to survive.
Right, I mean, if you didn't save, you would have saved like another 30 seconds there. I mean,
it's true, but I mean, the time I got was still like 7th place on the leaderboard.
what are other people doing? I mean, are they going to step it up sometime?
No. I hope so. I sure hope so.
Doesn't Ivan have a decent time, or is that he's got like a 46? Is that bad? You call that bad?
No, he has like a low 44 with Crate first. Actually, he's got a pretty good time
for that route. You mean?
Yeah, especially considering he got it like 2 years ago or something.
I thought he PB'd recently. Maybe he's just got different splits.
Yeah, he just has like D-Rust splits. Some people do right now because they're coming back to the game because of the tournament, 90% tournament.
Alright, well I need one more fish and we're done, Overfiend, so get ready for time.
Oh, okay.
Just get ready.
Okay.
I like how you wake up just in right, like, time for time.
Well, I figured I should come here a little early because Miss Honor said, I mean, depending on RNG, that you guys could have been done like an hour early, which...
I mean, you're a little bit late for that because they were done.
Well, yeah, but I mean, all that matters is like the last person.
Right, so perfect timing, in other words.
Yeah.
So get your hand on that button here because it's coming. It's coming. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It seems like Fireman PC was, you know, over the top. This is the best game of all time, in his opinion. Glad that people care about this game. One more shout out to Joe D'Amelio, who's not here right now.
Wait, what's up?
I just gave a shout out to Joe D'Amelio. As simple as that.
Oh. Why'd you pause your timer at 2:49?
Well, because I typed Lil Z in the chat and Z is my stuff. So when I push Z, it'll and at that point it's like, fuck it. I mean, well. Oh baby, oh baby. I think I got a high score. I ended with 101 pounds. I mean, okay. So
Wait, that's the run?
no, get ready, get ready. Just I have to go to the dock first.
Okay, when do I stop it?
I'll yell time. Well, when you see the finals, it's kind of confusing.
So when I see a screen,
When you see, it's a screen with him holding it up. You'll see Nick Casey, the kid, and the. So.
you see. Okay, thank you, Miss Long. Because there'll be like when you yell, there'll be a delay.
Time.
Okay.
You'll see it. It says Bassmasters Classic Champion on the screen. So sub 330. Woo! Woo! Woo!
I stopped it a little early, but it was still
you did.
328.
Oh, was it 328?
Well,
like 26 or 7. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, GG's.
Okay. Well, now we're a half hour ahead of schedule again.
Well, I can't win with you, Overfiend. It's like.
No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
I'm just saying, like, what do I do? You know, go underestimate or overestimate? It's just like it's one or the other.
No, that's good. I mean, if it was just 10 or Miss Honor doing it,
The waits for 20 minutes. We do have what's his name here? Kalaris is here. He's ready. From what I'm aware of.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not complaining. To me, that's a good thing. Lift weights for 20 minutes. Yeah, dude.
Well, what I was saying is, if we need filler, we can get filler. It's not a problem. But right now, Kalaris is ready to roll. So thanks all for watching that run. We have exciting stuff to come, and I'll be hanging around.
Yeah, we got Kalaris up next with Mario Kart and Tetris.